One time for the fan. Once again, you already know what it is.
Yep.
And you already know what it do. Falcon fans, how y'all feeling? Hope y'all feeling good. Hope y'all feeling great. We are back with another episode, another podcast here of One Time for the Fan. Always talking Falcons football with all the Falcon fans. Bodie 3000 is here with us tonight. No Chase. Bodie, what's good, man? How's everything going?
Man, it's all good, man. It's been a good day. Been a good week. Every day is a good day. But just chilling, man. I'm excited for the draft. I can't wait for the draft. Like, I've been dreaming about it. I've been thinking about it.
It's getting personal now.
Yeah. My wife is mad.
Sheesh. No time for the family, all time for draft? Was that what's going on?
Shit. She knows. She knows what it is.
It's draft season.
She understands.
It's the holidays. That's not the holidays. For all sports fans. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to get through this show here tonight. And then we're going to head on over to Out of Your Falcon Mind.
Yeah, which
I don't know if I was supposed to announce that. Sorry, John and Mike, but we have to say something for everybody here in the chat. We're going to head over to Out of Your Falcon Mind.
Yeah.
Around 9:05 to chop it up with John and Mike on their 100th episode. As you can
shout
see
out to those boys, man. Shout out to
big
them,
shout
man.
out.
Hey, man, they doing it how you supposed to do it, man. It's one of my favorite podcasts I listen to every day. Is in my rotation of podcasts. You know what I'm saying? So those guys have been doing it. They've been doing it the right way. And, I take pieces of them, pieces of what they do and try to implement it over here. So shout out to them cats.
Big shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind, John and Mike, on their 100th episode. And it's grind time season for a lot of podcasters, a lot of content creators, because it's the off season. Look how much we have going on right now with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm glad to have whoever's here in the chat tune into us, whoever's listening on Spotify, whoever's listening on Anchor, listening on Stitcher or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, YouTube, because we are everywhere. It's a good season right now because it's the off season. There's so much activity going on with the Atlanta Falcons. Every fan here in this chat is lit about the season. Every fan that's over there in Out of Your Falcon Minds chat or Big Countries chat or any podcaster, shout out to you all because it's grind time. There's a lot going on out here. And Bodie, we try to do the best we can in our chat, talking about what the Falcons got going on with our daily lives too as well. We're not covering the Falcons 24/7 in our personal lives because we have so much going on. But I guarantee you, we talk about the Falcons a lot and what we got going on too as well. But our eyes and ears are glued to a lot of the journalists in the media. And it's like a damn job, Bodie. Like a damn job at the end of the day.
It is a lot of effort, a lot of information, a lot of research, a lot of jokes, a lot of everything goes into what we do. And I enjoy it, man. I'm just having fun. My little buzz it helps me a little buzz.
Sheesh.
A little bit.
At times it do. Might have to sip up, pour up. But shout out to all the Falcon fans here in the chat. Let's get straight to it because we do want to head over soon to Out of Your Falcon Mind to go ahead and chop it up with them boys. News this week, Falcon fans in the chat, and we're going to get to the chat. I know y'all got your comments. Bring your questions to the chat tonight. We're going to do the mock. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, tag your Falcons friends because we're going to do a live mock here 2.0. If you missed the last one, you definitely want to be a part of this here tonight. Of course, we'll be back Sunday too as well. And then next week, coming up for the draft, we have so much going on here with One Time for the Fan. But yeah, Falcons signed the offensive tackle, Ethan Greenrich, former member of the New Orleans Saints. So a lot of people see this as a depth move. Some see this as a camp body. It's not the guard. It's not the guard. So let's just put that out there. It's all fans already. Jack, is it the guard? Is this the guy? No, it's not. But it's another piece from the Saints. I mean, he played there recently in 2020 was it?
Yeah, pretty much. We signed him to get the playbook and some
Sheesh.
codes and some cheap shit. That's all.
Not the cheat codes.
Yeah, we signed him to just get some intel, and then we'll see what happens. He may stick around, he may not. So yeah, that's all. We just signed him to get some insider information.
We'll see. It's gonna be fun to have this new Falcons team out here on the field this year. And every fan in the chat and the ones who's listening and watching wherever you are, you're a diehard just like we are diehards. And you want the team to win. So let's all agree on that, right? And if the team is winning, how do you feel? You feel better, right? So let's all agree on that. The team goes to the playoffs. Everybody's buying the merch. Everybody's showing up to the Benz or the away game, wherever you're going. Let's agree on that, right? The playoffs itself for the Falcons this year, if they make it, would just be hot for Atlanta. Because you're talking about looking at the playoffs and seeing your team play on a weekend where it's not the regular season anymore. It's not a postseason now. It's getting to a point where it's closer to the Super Bowl. So more eyes and ears are watching. Teams who didn't make it are going to be watching. Coaches, young players, college players, high school players. But it's just more focus on the game when you're in the playoffs too as well. Everybody wants to show up for their playoff party. Teams are, you know how it is, Bodie, when you're in the playoffs. Who was there at that one point? We haven't been there in a while. But for Falcon fans, we're going to get back there. And I think this is the year that we're going to get back there. So we can all agree that winning is cool. All right. We all here want to win. Everybody in the chat. So regardless if you want Bijan or Van Ness or Jackson Smith from Ohio State, or even if you go quarterback, we want to win.
Yeah.
Right. That's the ultimate goal. And Bodie, I'm sure you want to win, right?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to win, man. I'm tired of this. God damn. Who I got to slap to get a W? A winning season.
Gosh. And the thing about it is, for Falcon fans, you have a lot to go over. That you have to get a winning season first.
Yeah.
You have to at least go 1-0 or 2-1 or 3-2 or 4-2, or you have to get back to that. We haven't been in that in almost 6 years.
Yeah.
This shit has to stop.
Absolutely.
And look at the team that's being built right now. Falcon fans, if you were believers before, you should be believers now. This team is built to go win. And I'm just still rethinking what Calais Campbell said. I'm thinking, like, we got this guy on a 1-year deal, and this guy's speaking volumes just through the roof about this team and being destined for greatness. And obviously you've been playing in the NFL, so you're going over the coaches, you're going over the staff, you're going over the owner, you're going over the building you're playing in, you're going over the city you're getting ready to move to, you're going over the roster. Maybe some draft moves. Obviously, Claire's not going to tell us who they're about to draft, but if he was on the phone and heard who they're about to draft or they talked about it, that's things that Claire knows. But he chose to sign here for a reason. And hearing what he said, I'm heavy on that because this team is built to win, Bodie. It truly is.
Just shout out to Calais. He could have went anywhere he wanted. He deserved to go the pick and choose. He got people chasing him to come play for them. And that ought to tell you what type of player he is and has been and is going to be, especially for us. We got a gym. This is going to be a crucial year for a lot of our young pass rushers and stuff. He's going to mold them. He's going to his knowledge is going to ooze out. This is going to be great. It's going to be so great for our team. And I'm just grateful that, like I said, he's my favorite signing of this offseason over everybody. Because it's so important to have that veteran presence, and we getting 40+ sacks easy.
I see 40+ sacks this year, and that's definitely a playoff appearance. I don't think you get 40+ sacks. 40+ sacks is getting you out of situations when it's 3rd and 7, when it's 2nd and 3, 2nd and 3 from 3rd and 13, 3rd and 2 to 4th and 20. They're punting. Hell, I'm talking about some sacks out here. Yeah, we finna go slap.
We need We need plays made. We too many times we can't get to the quarterback and a broken play, and it's too much.
Even when we spoke to Dean Pease last year, same thing you said. If we had one more second or half a second, the amount of sacks that we could have got. And it was just thinking about it. It's true because look at Arnold Ebiketie.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different year.
Top PFF rusher in efficiency, but not getting to the quarterback. And he had like what, 1 sack this year, 1.5 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So this is a season where I can see Grady stepping up big time. Heavy leader right there on the defensive line. I can see Grady doing big things this year. Definitely breaking the sack record that he normally has, which is 6 or 7, I believe. And then you got Calais, you got Bud Dupree. Did you notice about the edge rushers too at the Falcons? And we're going to do this mock draft here. We're going to get to the chat shortly. But you notice that Falcons were saying edge. Or I'm sorry, the team needs, I guess, when the media puts it out there, what the team needs for the draft. You know, we got like 6 or 7 edge rushers right now.
Yeah, solid edge rushers that are productive in this league. So it's something.
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't go edge in the draft with your first round pick. If I'm not going to be shocked, I'm just not going to be surprised. You have Bud Dupree, you have Calais Campbell, you have Arnold Ebiketie, you have pretty much Lorenzo Carter, D'Angelo Malone, and if you want to put Kendall Ellis into that move too as well, Kendall Ellis, whoever they line up Tyquan Graham to as well. Caden Ellis. I'm sorry, Caden Ellis. We butcher names over
I was like, who is that? No, you didn't butcher that. You just didn't read the paper.
Sheesh. But it was interesting to see that Jalen Carter's going to meet with the Falcons earlier this week, so that was good to know. That news came out. Falcon fans are excited about that.
Yeah.
But where are they going to go in this draft? We don't know. We're going to do a mock here shortly. Let's get to the chat. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button. One time for the fan, every Sunday, 8 p.m. And we do our Wednesday shows too as well. And the season's getting ready to build up like crazy. So that's why we're putting up these pop-up shows every now and then. But when the season starts, for those that's been here since day one, we have our Sunday shows at 8, Wednesday shows at 8. Of course, we bring on a lot of special guests too as well. Our 100th show is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Out of Your Falcon Mind has their 100 show tonight. They were jam-packed with special guests they had on tonight. So it was good listening to those boys over there. So let's go ahead and get to the chat before we get to this live mock. It's going down. Hit the like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button. We almost have 400 subscribers, y'all. So help us out. Deshaun's in the chat. He said, pull up, drink. Headshot, drink. Sit down, drink. Stand up, drink. Hey, pass out, drink. And okay. First in the chat.
Shout out to Sean, man. Always representing. I need this whole playlist. We need to go back to all these episodes and get the playlist of all these songs that Deshaun keep putting in the chat. Fire playlist.
Jeff Wolf said, close to on time for a change. Remember, Jeff Wolf did show up to training camp at 1 a.m. for an 8 o'clock gate opening.
Sheesh. Jeff Wolf. You slept on that lawn chair? God.
Sent a picture to me at 2:30 in the morning, like, look where I am. I just started calling Falcon security. Like, hey, guys, there's a guy outside the camera.
Get this guy out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
He's wearing a jersey, too. So.
Shout out Jeff Wolf.
I said, don't ruffle up the jersey, but you get to front line. But nah, Jeff Wolf, diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. When it comes to having these diehard fans in the chat, they bring their comments about what's going on with the Falcons. Of course, we share them here on the channel, and we do talk about it too as well. He said, how many shows is still not consistent on start time? Man, this is hood podcast. Jeff Wolf, this is in the hood. Nah, wait till the budget goes up. Drake Shoe's statement said, hashtag one-timers, hashtag fan club. What's happening? You already know what it is,
man. How you doing, brother?
Falcon fans here in the chat. Hashtag one-timers, hashtag the fan club. If you hear representing with one time for the fan, we're going to get to the mock in a minute because fans are excited. Don't forget to hit that like button, that share button, hit that subscribe button. Paul Hopkins is here. You said, why is there a need for CJ Stroud if Ritter is the guy? Think about it, right, Brody? Let's go over this, right? You have to go over protocols in the NFL, right? And it's about meeting with certain players. But this is you're not getting CJ Stroud, okay? Because you brought him in for a visit, and he accepted. Falcon fans can't be all up in the air about, oh my god, Ritter is QB1. It's been decided.
I would say more so is due diligence. We got to go through our due diligence. Just never know what'll happen. Never know minds might change, stuff like that. And plus, you gotta they might talk to CJ Stroud. He might say some crazy shit that the Falcons might be like, light bulb. Oh my God, we must get this guy. You never know. You just never know. So that's due diligence. You gotta do your due diligence. But
Falcons met with Levis.
9 times out of 10, we're probably not getting.
Yeah, Levis, Miles Murphy. I mean, if you want to go over like what Myles Garrett said the other day, who will be on the show here coming up soon, not tonight, but later on in the month. Look at the mocks from last year from some of these journalists in the NFL. Everybody who the Falcons said was supposed to be selecting, they didn't select. They went ahead and got Drake London. A lot of people were saying, can't remember some of the picks, but Kevin Thibodeau was one of the reaches that people were saying could be a Falcon on draft night last year. Heavy. Who was it? Do you remember any other names from last year, Bodie, that we talked about?
Shoot, I was all over Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, that was my guy. He got chosen. I got hurt. But, I knew that we needed a receiver, so it made sense. Definitely made sense.
Does it make sense here? Does it make sense, Falcons fans in the chat, if you go draft a receiver in the first round? Are you comfortable with that? Looking at your receiving core right now, knowing that it's just Drake London, Mac Hollins, Scotty Miller. People are going to say, what about Hodge? He's a gunner.
He's a gunner.
And he's mad funny on TikTok too. So shout out to Qadar Hodge.
Yeah, I should follow him. It's just so deep. This draft is so deep at almost so many positions, especially receiver. So I like a couple guys in the second that we probably can get, or third. This is so deep. It's so deep, and I'm just excited.
Ghost Peppers in the chat. He said, "What's good, Falcons fam?" Ghost Peppers.
Yeah, what's good, brother? How you doing, man?
The Loaches in the chat said, "Fellas, what's popping?"
Man, you already know, man.
We lit out here.
Yeah.
Boy, Chase said, "Man, I would have pushed through the sickness for that show appearance." Shaking my head, boy. Chase, man. Hold on. Wait a minute. How'd you get the phone?
Sheesh. Lord of mercy.
The yard finish?
Oh man.
Sheesh. That my boy Chase out there, man. That my homie Chase.
Yeah,
man.
Chase ain't gonna have his phone. His child lock gonna come on in a few minutes. He gonna have his phone. It's all good. Shout out Chase, man. Feel better since you're sick, man. Feel better, dog.
Diehard Atlanta Falcon fan podcaster here on One Time for the Fan. He holds it down. Can't wait to have Chase back here. I'm sure he's getting himself to 100 to get ready for this draft show coming up. We have a lot.
He gonna be there. Chase will be coughing up a lung, but his ass gonna be on that draft show. Believe that.
Hey, we'll tell him to mute the mic when you cough, but hey, just be ready. Yeah, Sullivan's in the chat said, "What they do?"
What's good?
Paul Hopkins up here said, "What's up?" Jeff Wolf was up in here. Who we got? Harold Poole. I'm officially season ticket holder now. Signed up today. Rise up time. Look who it is. It's Harold Poole.
How you doing, man? How you doing, brother? It's been a while.
Hey, season ticket holder, brother. Pound to you, sir.
Yeah.
From one season ticket holder to another, respect to you, sir.
Absolutely.
That's just more Falcon fans in the bins. That's more hostile environment, baby.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm talking about. I already know Harold Poole. Remember, he was yelling out F. Matt Ryan bombs weeks ago. So I'm just imagining what's going to happen in whatever section he's in.
You're talking about a year ago.
Harold Poole, what section are you representing? So you say you're a brand new season ticket holder. What section are you representing for the Falcon fans here in the chat? Because there are some fans here who might be interested in purchasing season tickets in the future, or moving to a different section. But let us know what section you're in, because there's some diehard Falcon fans here on the channel. Harold Poole's lit. Shake Craven said every team doing their part for future reasoning. Yeah, it's that time of the year.
Never know. Just gotta do it. Due diligence.
Chase got a comment. Said, I called wide receiver months ago. You can trade back and grab a nice wide receiver in the first round. Falcon fans just so set in this running back and X position. Running back is probably deeper than the wide receiver group. I must say, this draft class, Bodie, you can agree or disagree. There's some really good talent in this draft this year. So I believe with Terry's scouting ability, with the team that he has over there, the players that he's drafted before, who's going to be entering this building within the next couple of weeks, we're going to get some really good talent here in Atlanta.
Bro,
I'm dead serious about this.
All I know is I got a list of guys from first to the third round that I know I'm comfortable. If we don't get them in the first, we're gonna get this guy in the second, maybe, or this guy in the third. Like it's deep. And then the Falcons, they even deeper than that. I don't study the tape like they do, but yeah, man, it's deep. It's not too many. I mean, we got so many places to go. So I'm just as man. I'm like once again, I'm excited.
Falcon fans, what else is there to do but ball with the crew? Let's go ahead and get straight to it. See what we got here. Budget's going up. Can everybody see what's on the screen? I hope you can.
It's not there yet.
We're good. It's coming up. Hold on a second here.
Not that AOL guy. AOL.
Sheesh.
You got slow internet.
I hope nobody calls. Let's go. Are we mocking here?
Knock you off.
Are we mocked up? Everybody's mocked up?
Let's do it.
Everybody good? Everybody got your paper and your pen? Bodie, can you get these names for me as I do my mock? I'll run through my mock first.
Okay.
And then Bodie will run through his mock second. Chase was supposed to do his tonight, but Chase is not feeling too well. But we hope to have another mock. I'm sure we're going to do one or two more before we get close to draft day. Harold Poole said, I see a 10-7 record with the NFC South champs. I definitely see us winning the NFC South this year.
Word.
All right. What we doing, Bodie? 7 rounds.
7 rounds.
Normal speed for all the Falcon fans. Bodie, you good? You ready to take my
Shit.
You ready to get my name down?
Yeah, I got your notes, bro. I got you.
All these ads don't belong to me, Falcon fans. Just to let y'all know.
Yeah, tell
and Zuckerberg, if you're
subscription. I said,
yeah, Zuckerberg, if you're watching,
don't
red flag me, Zuckerberg. I'm screaming here.
Man, Zuckerberg is on a beach somewhere.
Let's draft. Pause the draft. Sheesh. Already off the board, Falcon fans. Bring those comments because we're going to talk about it. Here on One Time for the Fan, we're doing a live mock 2.0. If you saw the first mock, we had a great time with it. Falcon fans were throwing names around left and right. You got to get this guy. You got to get this guy. You got to get this guy. So I'm going to do my mock tonight, and you guys can go over it and let me know what you guys think about it. Give me a grade on mine. Give Bodie a grade too as well. I think last week or the last 2 weeks ago, Bodie, when we did our grades, a lot of fans gave us some B's. I saw a couple of A's. I saw a C. Nothing like no D's or anything. We did a pretty good job on our mock, but
yeah, we didn't throw no D's on that hole. So
yeah, throw some D's on it.
I'm good with that.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Everybody in the chat, let's go. Let's do the mock. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, 1 and 2. So now with the mock, and this is computer simulated, this is computer generated. I know how this shit is with these mocks.
Yeah.
But it's something that has been talked about for a while now of quarterbacks going in the top 5. I'm talking about 2 or 3 quarterbacks going in the top 5, possibly 4 going in the top 10. Now you're hearing Tennessee might want to get involved with trading up probably. You also heard from our last special guest that mentioned San Francisco. I don't think they're too tight on Brock Purdy. What could they do coming up in this draft too as well? Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I believe last time we did this, Bodie, it was Stroud and then it was Young.
Yeah.
So Falcon fans that's in the chat, are you surprised by this? I think we already knew that it was going to be quarterback going 1 and 2, right? Unless there was a trade up from Houston somewhere, right?
Yeah, and Houston. Let's keep a band. Let's keep it a band, okay? They need a quarterback. Is all this hoo-ha out here. They might trade up. They might not like it. Yeah, the hoo-ha, the all that, the Pillsbury Doughboy, all that shit. Is all that about them not? They need a quarterback because the way Davis Mills played last season. If they don't get a quarterback, good God, are you serious? I'll go down to Houston and knock on the damn door myself, and they probably escort me away. But that's
heading over here to Ghost Peppers. Depends on the importance of value of and BPA for need. With that being said, I don't think we're drafting a wide receiver at 8. If you do trade back and your guys are not on the board, remember you're looking at your wide receiver core with Mac Hollins, Drake London, Scotty Miller. If you was to draft back and you don't get your defensive guys, Jackson Smith from Ohio State, Bodie, correct me if I'm not, he would be BPA as the best wide receiver in the draft.
It's a toss up between him and Zay Flowers.
So
yeah, that they're really considered Zay Flowers to be the best wide receiver in the draft, but it's a toss up.
Falcon fans, I'm not on the drafted wide receiver bus. I'm just looking at certain things of the roster as we get closer to draft day. Your wide receiver group, You're going to get one, I think, somewhere in this draft. Not saying he had to be a first. I know Falcon fans would be up in arms if it's Jackson Smith or if it's they draft back and it's a Zay Flowers. But it was like, we drafted a wide receiver last year. We drafted a tight end before that year before. We also loaded up on defense this year in the offseason.
Yeah.
So
it's helped. It's helped with the decision.
The kid from Ohio State is the best wide receiver in the first round. That's my opinion. I think. Yeah. You get him, he's the best. He's your number 2 if you get him, and he'll be here for a couple years too as well. Am I right, Bodie?
He'll be here for a while. Yeah, absolutely.
So now you have your number wide 2 wide receiver that we talked about. They haven't gone after a number 2 receiver yet. Falcons got London locked in. Mac Hollins got a 1 year. Scotty Miller got a 1 year. So
yeah,
you got to look at what's going on.
It's gonna. I don't think at 8 personally. It won't be at 8. I'm almost certain. I bet a paycheck it won't be at 8. But there's plenty of receivers to get in his second or third round. I'm not even tripping about that.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. This mock right here will be my mock, and then Bodie's coming up next. So we're going to resume the draft. Young and Stroud, number 1 and number 2. Guess what, Falcon fans? You play the Panthers. You also play the Texans this year. So you're playing 2 rookie quarterbacks already. You play the Cardinals. Whatever move they make, they're going to be in shambles. You play the Colts. They're probably going to go rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
You also play the Lions. They're on the up and up right now with their team. You play the Bears. I think they're full of it right now. They're just spending a lot of money on.
You're right. I don't know what they are, but yeah.
Shout out to OZ. He's over there with the Eagles now. Don't have to worry about them unless they make the playoffs and you make the playoffs. You play Tennessee this year. Fans will talk about Tennessee's team is up in shambles. The new GM and new whatever came in there and started just letting go of players. Hey, we'll take Bud Dupree. Appreciate that. Revenge game for Bud Dupree coming up soon. Shout out to Bud. But that could be a win. You play the Jets too as well. Are they going to have Aaron Rodgers? That is something to look at. So look at some of these teams here that you're going to be playing. You play Green Bay. You play Washington, right? You play Tampa, right? You play Minnesota. You play Jacksonville, right? Look at this, Falcon fans. You got them dirty Aints, and you got the Chiefs that you have to worry about until you play in the Super Bowl. And I think our team would be pretty good to go ahead and win that game too as well. I don't want to fast forward to the future, but let's go ahead and knock out this draft here. So let's resume. Number 3 is Christian Gonzalez. Whoa. Woo. This is something that I wouldn't have expected. Jeez, Gonzalez goes 3. Now you got Levis at 4, right?
I can't see that.
If you go in your offense, now you go in your quarterbacks.
Jeez.
Richardson is sitting there at 6. Everybody else is pretty much a second round, third round pick. So now your 3 quarterbacks are off the board. You will be playing rookie Bryce Young. You will be playing CJ Stroud. You will be playing rookie Will Levis.
I wouldn't be surprised if they pick Will Levis. Will Levis is more ready than Anthony Richardson, but the Christian Gonzalez thing, that shit ain't happening either. I'm sorry.
That's tough right there.
That shit is not happening. Shout out to Gonzalez, but that ain't happening.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button. We're doing our 2.0 mock right here.
We'll see what happens. Go ahead.
Resume the draft. Seattle goes Will Anderson. And of course,
gift wrap.
Here comes Anthony Richardson now. The Jared Goff move that Falcon fans and a lot of people in the media was talking about. If Jared Goff's going to be locked in for the rest of his career in Detroit, or are they going to go ahead and get a young quarterback right now? Which is, you see, my last mock I did that wasn't online, they did select the quarterback. And now this one that we're doing online, they select the quarterback here. So,
yeah, I mean, it's not a wrong answer. It's not a wrong answer, but, maybe they'll trade out of it. I don't know. But I don't think they're getting a quarterback because their defense is booty butt cheeks. So we're going to see how that goes with that. So, yeah.
I also want to say I did a mock that was offline earlier this week, and a trade came into me from the Eagles at 10. I took the trade. I was able to get the Eagles' 10th pick and another second-round pick from the Eagles. And they moved up and got Jackson Smith, the wide receiver from Ohio State.
Sheesh.
That's weird. That's why I love doing these mocks. So, Falcon fans, bring your questions, bring your comments here to the chat as we do our mock. Let's continue.
These mocks are wild.
Here it is again. There it is again.
Is this built in?
So, Paris Johnson went 7. We took Jalen Carter last time. This is what I'm going to do for Falcon fans, because Falcon fans are going to say trade back, trade back, trade back. But then again, Jalen Carter's on the board. And this is my personal mock that I'm doing here for Falcon fans. So I'm going to, I'm looking at Calais Campbell, the 1-year deal with him. I'm looking at Eddie Goldman's situation, maybe Tyquan Graham's situation, Grady Jarrett once again rounding the corner to 30. You need some generational talent here. I'm going to reject this. The 12th pick and offensive tackle Howard. No, we're good on linemen right now. I'm going to reject this. And because my guy's still on the board, I think you cannot deny it. If Jalen Carter is there, this guy can play multiple techniques on that line. And you have to go ahead and select this man. So Jalen Carter has been selected from Jack Spade's Mock 2.0 here on One Time for the Fan. Not surprising, Bodie. Tyree Wilson, Devin. So Bijan is still on the board when fans were saying he can go to Philly.
Yeah.
Surprising. Yeah. Let's resume. We got Miles Murphy, Jackson, Joey.
Shoot. I would say the Ravens need a receiver for sure. Excuse me.
Yeah, you gotta stay away from that oregano, brother.
Hey man, I gotta smoke it.
Yeah, LaMarcus Boyd is here in the chat. One time for the fans. Schedule release show coming up May 11th. So be prepared for that podcast. Well, LaMarcus Boyd will be here talking to us about what's going on in Arizona, because we will be heading out to Arizona this year. One Time for the Fan is on the road at every single away game this year. For those who was with us last season, you saw how we operate. Heading on to the draft. Bodie, the first pick for me. You got Jalen Carter, right? You got me?
I got you.
All right. So now we've locked up a generational talent with Jalen Carter, who can play multiple positions on the defensive line, especially in Ryan Nielsen's defense. He's a player, I think, who's just phenomenal. And this is big for the Falcons. If you was to select Jalen Carter, Georgia fans would be happy. They'll be excited. You got fans traveling from Athens straight to come see the kid. And, of course, a lot of Falcon fans would be excited to get a national champion winner like Mr. Jalen Carter. No, I hate the Saints. I ain't doing no business with you guys. This is crazy.
Come on, dog. This draft simulator is wild.
So it's the simulator, but check this out. We're gonna go off what's happening right now with the team. I'm looking at new contract. I'm looking at what you had to do to, bring this guy in. I know the trade is involved here, but you're gonna have to pay this man too as well. People would be concerned about an injury I believe he had recently in the past 2 years, and pretty much his progression as a running back hasn't gone down. Some people would say he hasn't been the same Dalvin Cook that people have been seeing over the years. So I'm going to reject this trade. I think Tyler Algier and CP for right now is good to go. But I am going to do this in the second round. That guard spot is still open.
Okay.
You have Jalen Carter. You're beefing up. It starts in the trenches, and the trenches starts on both sides of the ball, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And you have Jalen Carter at 1. So now you have to go ahead and get your guard. You're going to lock in your guard because you want to beef up that O-line. I'm going to go with Steve Avila, number 2. If you haven't seen the tape on Steve Avila from TCU, he's definitely probably top 3, top 5 guard in the country. He's a plug-and-play guy day 1. So it's great to see that pick right there too as well. Bodie, you got me, Jalen Carter and
Steve Avila. I got you.
I
got you, dog.
LaMarcus Boyd, Anthony White. What we got? Jalen Carter's my first pick, big dog. Steve Avila's the second pick, big dog. We're going off. I'm going off of what I see right now. You can plug and play right now. They getting rid of Swift? No, I'm not. I'm rejecting this. What?
AJ. What?
Denver is your actual goddamn man.
Bro, did you create this with
no, I did not create
2 picks? No. What the
So I'm going over the quarterback. So I'm going over the defense. I got Jalen Carter. I also have Steve Avila. I'm going to go and look now in the 3rd round for a running back. Somebody who can help move the chains. And there's a couple players still on this list here that you can pick up. That will be a good fit in the 3rd round. And I'm not going to waste no time. I think Israel would be a nice fit here in Atlanta behind Tyler. behind.
That's a long name to type. God damn it.
You got it?
I got it.
I think Israel could be a good back here, and I don't want to butcher his name. We'll call him IA. It will just fit into what we have going on here with Tyler and CP coming
What do you like
soon.
about Israel? What do you like about Israel?
His run, he's elusive. You know what I'm saying? He's a quick downhill type back. He gets after it. I know he didn't come from the biggest school because it's Pittsburgh. But these are the rounds where you find guys who can fix your offense, and you'll have Falcon fans going back that weekend coming up in the draft, if he is selected, to go watch tape of this guy and say, wow, Terry got another gem. Here's the problem, Bodie. Tank Bigsby is another gem.
Yeah.
Right? Roshan Johnson is another player who's behind Bijan. He's another player that could be decent. Kenny McIntosh, Tajay Spears. So if you're going running back, you got a couple guys here who's pretty good too as well. Remember they talk about Muhammad Ibrahim from Minnesota too as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got some players who can really fit the scheme.
Yeah,
so we
heard
went.
your name. Roshan Johnson. That's crazy that Roshan is such a high prospect. He's running behind Bijan, and that tandem, like Roshan could start on any team in the nation. He's that good. That's crazy though. He's a good player too.
So, Bodie, you got me now. We got Jalen Carter first. This is Jack Spade's mock 2.0. Gotcha. Bodie's coming up next. We got Jalen Carter first. We got Steve Avila second. We got Israel Abakianda with the third pick. So now we've beefed up the D line. You got probably a second, third down specialist here, running back, who can assist you probably in the pass catching game too as well, and short yardage situations. Whatever Tyler couldn't do, you have the young man Israel here to back you up if CP's in the pass catching role more this season. But that's big. But you have your guard who's starting out there, be there week 1. And then you have a running back who will probably be in the game week 1, 2 as well. Because I know the Falcons, they ran the 4 running backs last year. They're going to do the same this year, probably. Falcon fans, let's continue.
Let's get it.
A lot of good players still on the board. If you're looking at the Falcons right now, Jalen Carter is going to be playing week 1. Steve Avila is going to be playing week 1. That other pick that we made, Israel, I can see him still in the lineup, probably not getting as many snaps as Falcon things, not 25 to 30, no. But he's going to get enough snaps as a rookie where he's going to fit in to this offense and to this scheme. And I'm going to put some tape out here. I want to go ahead and try to get some film together so we don't get red flagged from Facebook, because anytime you load anything onto Facebook, they try to red flag you.
That's my thing. Facebook, I've seen a whole bunch of people load film and stuff. I don't see why not. Like, why is a problem? But yeah.
Falcon fans, we're going to do this here. There's been a lot of talk about if you're going to get a wide receiver. I think you're going to get a wide receiver, and there's a guy on the board right now who's sitting right here. He's projected at 118. You're sitting at 110. You're not going to hesitate. 6'1", 220, 9.86 RAS score, and he's sitting right here in the late rounds. Falcon fans used to be excited about getting a player like Jonathan Mingo.
I think Jonathan Mingo is going to go earlier than that, and I think that he is one of my favorite players in this draft. That one of the receivers that you can get later rounds that will do something. So hell, I might end up picking him myself, depending on how the board falls. So yeah, I love that.
Falcon fans, we are moving. You have Jalen Carter, you have Steve Avila, you have Israel, the running back from Pittsburgh, and now we just picked up the wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. And of course, we have to go back to the other side of the ball because you're going to see 3 offensive players. Wait a minute, Falcons, you went defense 1 and 3 offensive players behind that. So now let's go back to the defensive side of the ball. And you have some guys here that you can still pick up. I'm still heavy on Jay Ward. I know it's not the best RAS score at 6.7. I heard about his situation in the LSU. I know what it is. But Jay Ward is a guy. It's a heavy reach because he's at 174. You're at 113. Ronnie Hickman is a guy.
I was just saying, if you can't move around, if you can't trade, like that's in real life. If you can't trade, that's why folks reach for players, because they can't trade back.
Yeah.
And whatever. So you get your player, you get your guy. So get your guy, Jack.
Falcon fans, don't call this a reach, but I'm going to go and pick a LSU player here. I like some of the players on LSU's defense from Jay Ward to Mekhi Gardner. If you're going to get a cornerback in this draft, seeing was Casey Hayward's situation, Mekhi Gardner would be a nice fit right there.
Absolutely. Do what you do. Mekhi Gardner is not a bad player.
So as you can see now, Bodie, got my list. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Who we got now? So first pick was Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Second pick was
Oh, my phone's
Steve
taking
Avila.
up. Steve Avila.
Third
Yep.
pick was
Third pick.
Israel Abakanda from
Avocado.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Wakanda forever. Yeah.
Fourth pick was Jonathan Mingo.
Jonathan Mingo. And then
And
you
then we
just
just
picked
selected Mekhi Gardner too as well.
Makai Gardner.
Jeff Wolf said
I ain't
Spears
gonna
in the
lie.
fourth round. We did miss on Spears.
I ain't get them last 2 picks, but I got it now. Glad you said something.
We are coming up here shortly, Falcon fans. Don't forget we have another pick. And this is going to be crazy for the draft. That's why me and Bodie is not going to do the draft show. Look how we're sitting here waiting for these draft picks to go by fast. And what's going to happen on draft day? We were sitting here on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe we should have clicked fast in the beginning. This shit was
Sheesh. We're getting to the end here. I guarantee you. We didn't do no proposed trades. We're going to have more time on our next mock with Chase and everybody to actually start working trades around. But Jalen Carter was sitting at 8. We did select Jalen. You can't beat that, Falcons fans, to have a guy like Jalen Carter in your building. And then on the other side of the ball, you want to get Steve Avila. You plug your guard spot on day 2. You plug the generational talent who's going to be a beast in the NFL for years to come on day 1. You got a wide receiver also on day 2 or day 3. Like, man, this is big.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that generational talent because, like I said on the previous show, I believe there are so many generational, not so many, but there are definitely generational talents in this draft that we should look at. And, I got my eye on a couple, especially if they fall to us. So
now, Falcon fans, you're probably thinking, damn, we got some really good picks here. Who else can we get that can make a statement here in the NFL? Who else can we get that can probably be there week 1, going up against whoever we're going up against, smacking up whatever team we're playing up against? And this is late round picks that you might see some gems. Remember, Kendall Ellis was a 7th round pick. That's a guy to look at too as well. But Charlie Thomas from Georgia Tech is a guy who I've seen on a couple mocks and a couple journalists speak about. So now you have a linebacker who's a big body. This young man gets after it. So now you've hit on your linebackers. Now you have another pick coming up behind that. And this is where the camp bodies really start to come in, and if these guys are going to make the roster or not. I'm going to go ahead and do it because I don't think with the 3 preseason games and Heineke, they're going to play Ritter heavy. But I see them probably going and draft maybe a quarterback in the late rounds who doesn't have, week 1 starter traits. But it's somebody that Falcon fans can look at and say, oh my gosh, they drafted a quarterback. What are they going to do?
Yeah, so you're looking at Stetson Bennett.
Well, Stetson Bennett is a guy Falcons fans will say it could be a reach. If we're just going to be selecting quarterbacks, I don't want to be all over the place, but a guy that I've seen too as well is Tanner Morgan from Minnesota.
Okay. I've heard that name.
So, Falcon fans, this is just a mock draft here that we're doing live on One Time for the Fan. But hopefully I can get a good grade from you guys. I think I got some players that if you look at the roster and look at the depth of what they have going on and positions that need to be filled and BPA, I think I did pretty well here on this one.
I'm going to tell you, Sullivan, DeAndre Hopkins, that talent is there. And he is still an elite talent in this league. So at this rate, receivers like him are going in for 3rd round draft picks. I think he'll go for like a 4th or something if he gets traded or something, because he can still help. He'd be great for us. The money has to add up, and that's the thing, though. The money's all over. Like, we just got enough for our rookie class and stuff like that. But DeAndre Hopkins is, I can't deny the talent. If we can make the money work and everything else in place and still have money going into the season, I would say, hell yeah, get DeAndre, because that's a man, one of the best receivers in this league has ever seen. So, yeah, I'm for it, but I highly doubt that happens.
I'm with Bodie. Also, earlier in the cap space, when you had it, it would have been a great move probably if it was like the splash that fans would have wanted in the offseason. Like if you needed that big primetime receiver. You seen once the Mac Hollins move was made and they signed Scotty Miller, I think there's probably going to hit the draft on another one. And they're gonna there's a lot of camp bodies. You got like what 12 cornerbacks, you got like what 10 receivers or something there. So
Yeah, and
there's
that's
gonna be
the
a
thing.
lot of battles
Signing.
at 4, 5, and 6 somewhere on this depth chart. A lot of places, a lot of
We
battles.
can keep signing these guys, these camp bodies, or these guys haven't really proved nothing yet. Just working for a spot on the roster, we can sign these guys without any penalty to our cap. That's just a thing. That's a rule. So it wouldn't hurt anything to bring in guys like that. But like Hopkins, I think we can find a good receiver that we like that kind of fits our mold. Hopkins would fit our mold, but something along the lines of Hopkins in the later rounds, obviously.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Jack Spade's 2.0 mock is finished. If you want to go ahead and get these grades down here, Falcon fans, send your grades. Keep it real. Let's keep it real. B- from Jeff Wolf, C+ from Chase. Falcon fans, send your grades in. Jalen Carter,
Chase just mad because we
he's
get
a day one
receiver
guy. Steve Avell is going to be plugged in day one.
Yeah.
Israel, you're probably going to see second and third downs running around with CP and Tyler out there too as well. Jonathan Mingle will definitely be on the field week 1. I think Mekhi Gardner will definitely be on the field week 1 too as well. And that's in a mix of Jeff Okudah, Mike Hughes, AJ Terrell, possibly Casey Hayward, D. Alford, Darren Hall, Cornell Armstrong. I can keep going, Falcons fans.
I mean, you didn't have to keep going, but yeah.
Charlie Thomas is a move that I think Falcon fans need to watch, because if they don't go back and get Rashaan Evans, where are they going to move some of these linebackers around? It's going to be heavy rotation, not on just the D line, but on the whole field itself. So you need rotation everywhere. And if Troy's your guy, if he's your signal caller, if he's your green dot next season, you have to plug somebody next to Troy. You're going to move that defense around. However, Troy's going to be moving around a lot, not just staying in the middle of the field. Charlie Thomas, I can see also too as well, making the roster. And then cornerback Tanner Morgan, he's a camp body. He's a preseason guy. You draft him, you play him the first 2 games. Don't forget, you don't make the cuts until the last preseason game. So he can play really up until the damn end of the first half and preseason week 3. And then Ritter can come in if you want to. But you don't want to get Ritter hurt. You understand? And there's going to be a lot of, talk about how many games Ritter's going to play, how many snaps he's going to play. You need to have another backup quarterback in the building.
No, we'll get to that. That's later.
Yeah.
Down the road. But yeah.
We definitely will. We have to get to Bodie's. Here we go. Sorry. We have to get to Bodie's mock here.
Click fast. Click fast for me. Go ahead.
We're going to hit fast over here.
We're going to zoom through this mother lover right
here. We're going to get
right.
ready to crank up Bodie's mock. After Bodie's mock, we're going to head over to Out of Your Falcon Mind to finish up them on their 100th show, because they've been doing a great job over there, hanging a good time, man.
Hey, man
they get so cool, man.
Once again,
they're so cool. Whoa, shit!
Yeah, now we at 8. I ain't doing no trades. Cut that shit off.
So you don't want Butner?
I like Butner. I ain't gonna lie, but no, not for 8th. Hell no. Reject that shit. Let's get it. Reject.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button.
All right. Yeah, reject that shit too. No, not moving back that far. We moved back, but not that goddamn far. No, I wouldn't even do that either. No, I'm not doing no trades in this draft anyway. All right, so we see who went. We got Young, Stroud, Wilson. Could very well have
B- from Justin.
This is looking real. This is looking pretty realistic. We could swap Wilson and Anderson. Will probably happen. Will Anderson is one of the best defensive players. Probably well, I wouldn't say the best. I think Jalen Carter is the best defensive player in this draft. But if it fell this way, which is very likely, like that shit looks very realistic, considering I think that Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson will be flipped. Jalen Carter's in our lap. I'm not hesitating. I'm running to the podium to get Jalen Carter. So select me, Jalen Carter.
Bodie 3000. Let's go ahead and knock this one out. Jalen Carter is on the list.
Now we zooming through this thing. We zooming. Keely Ringo went first round. That's dope. Shout out Keely.
And there's a lot of Falcon fans that would agree Jalen Carter, if he's on the board at 8, you got to make the pick.
Reject that joint. Reject them all.
Some trade offers. We don't like the Cowboys. The Rams are throwing up a fair. That's a nice.
Not bad. That's 2. That's like what? A second and a third. Is that a second?
It's a second and a third.
Second and a third. Oh, it's not bad. But no, I see somebody. I see a couple people on the board that I got to make a decision right now if it falls like this. So reject that joint.
I went guard with my pick in the second round, looking at the positions of the Falcons right now, that's best player available, what's needed. Steve Avila is a plug and play guy. You might think otherwise. They might go get a guard in the third round. You've seen they've drafted this line. They drafted Hennessy. They drafted Dahlman. They drafted Caleb McGarry. They drafted Chris Lindstrom. They drafted
I
Jake
need a drink
Matthews.
for
So
this.
they're going to draft a guard or some of the offensive linemen. They're going to draft one.
I'm driving a
But Bodie,
guard
what do
too.
you want?
Give me one of these picks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I sit here. I know what Osiris Torrance can bring.
Let me know.
I know what Torrance can bring. Probably one of the best run maulers in this draft. Jahmyr Gibbs, I probably got I love him. I ain't gonna lie. I love Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's the best running back on day 2, honestly.
You're damn right. And he's sitting on the board at 44. I'm probably taking Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's the Lightning to Algiers Thunder at this point. So give me Jahmyr Gibbs right now.
Falcon fans, Bodie has selected running back Jahmyr Gibbs. He's taking the top off of defenses in the run game. You definitely have to stack the box if Jahmyr Gibbs is back there, if Tyler's back there.
You got to give my quarterback weapons. You got to give my quarterback weapons. You want him to succeed, you got to give him weapons. Don't give him just bare minimum. We just can't do bare minimum. Reject that shit. Let's go. Take that
Falcon
shit
fans,
down.
Bodie's first 2 picks. Mine was Jalen Carter and guard Steve Avila from TCU. Bodie has selected Jalen Carter and Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama. Those are some big picks. You got a guy from Georgia and Alabama in the house.
Hey. Yeah, do what you got to do. Reject. I'm not doing any trades in this. I'm doing face value here. It's real tempting. I see some names here, but go to guard. Let's see who's on the board at guard.
We're heading over here to the guard spot.
I'm getting a little laggy right now. Okay. This is interesting. My guy Voorhees, I like him a lot. I've did some research on him. He may seem like a reach, but I think he fits this scheme, and that's very important to have players that fit your scheme. So give me Voorhees from USC.
Remember now the situation with Voorhees. As you can see, he flashed the ability to reset his hands, high regain leverage. Additionally, he has excellent movement skills at guard. He did have an injury too as well, but Falcon fans still see him, and a lot of fans in the NFL still see him as a heavy prospect. So we're going to go with Andrew Voorhees. Is he going to be that guy to plug in on day 1? This is your 3rd pick now, so we will see what he does in camp.
I think Voorhees can be a starter in this league for sure. All right, go back to all. At this point, I'm probably looking for a receiver. I'm just going off where the board fell, and how we're looking right now. All right, scroll down for me. Let's see.
But of course.
All right. Interesting.
The young man Raheem Jarrett right here from Maryland is the guy who's he's climbing for a day 3 pick. So one player to watch for. Maryland got a cornerback. I think they got Banks over there, and now they have Jarrett too as well. A couple players to watch for here, Falcons fans. The other young man from Fresno State is another kid to watch for too as well.
They do. Out of these guys right here, I think we're looking. Like I said,
this might be your guy.
It looks like a look how Arthur Smith guy, right?
Yeah.
I can't say I know much about him. I've been doing my research, but let's go with Jarrett. I do know Jarrett, so let's go there.
Is your boy on the board?
Who that?
So Trey Tucker's all the way back. Okay, so Rasheed Rice, he's gone.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice is gone.
Yeah.
He's not there.
Raheem Jarrett from Maryland.
I wouldn't say receive. Look, I know people saying we need a receiver, and we do, but it's not like the most like pressing need. Like I said, our 1 and 2 receiver is London and Pitts, and then I drafted us Jahmyr Gibbs. He's a receiver. He can get all-purpose yards and rush out the backfield. He is a savant. So I wouldn't say at this point receiver is a need. So let's not go receiver. Close that.
I like the Jarrett move because it's not a flashy pick, but the kid can get after it. Being
I do.
5'11", 192, he's kind of like a Scotty Miller too as well. So you have a big body
Yeah,
like Drake London, you have a big body like Mac Hollins,
but that's
you
the
have another
thing.
big body like Kyle Pitts, and then here comes Raheem Jarrett and
Take
Scotty
into
Miller.
consideration.
That's your OZ and your Bird right there. If you're looking like from last year,
Take into
so
consideration. Okay, OZ was here. We've seen every receiver, almost every receiver that our quarterback has brought in. I mean, our GM and our coach has brought in has been, um, you know, big and strong and been able to block. Okay, um, that's the thing. Oh, you picked Jared. Oh, okay.
yeah, you
I
said Raheem
actually
Jarrett, right?
I did, but then I retracted because I thought about
Sheesh.
it.
All right, let me go back.
But can you go back? It's too late.
I
Is
don't
it
think
too
so.
late? It's fine.
Sheesh.
It's fine. We'll go Jared. We'll go Jared.
And Jeff Wolf, we know that they didn't draft Matthews, but we're talking about the offensive line the Falcons had drafted. These are not players that came from different teams and so forth.
Yeah.
Matthews was drafted, Dahman was drafted, Hennessy was drafted, Caleb McGarry was drafted, Chris Lindstrom was drafted. So they're going to draft a guard or another offensive lineman who eventually could play long term here in Atlanta. They got it so far so good. Lindstrom, so far so good. McGarry, all right. Contracts, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Matthews, you're a Falcon for life. So it's
Mhm.
good to see that.
All right. So our next pick. Let's see here. We're going. I think with this one we'll go defense. So hit me with defense. Stop right there. Stroll down. I do like that Byron Young guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. I did my research on him. He's got loads of potential. I thought he'd go higher than this, honestly. So to see him here is actually good. So give me not Brian Young, Byron Young from Tennessee.
Byron Young from
Yes,
Tennessee.
absolutely.
That's a big pick right there. That's a lot of weight on that front line. It's a
All
lot of
right.
muscle on that front line. And I just want
It
to talk
is.
about what the front line could do when you have different stunts from different players with Campbell and Goldman. And I think you guys saw the video of Eddie Goldman boxing in the offseason. You want this type of physicality on the line. Falcon fans
Yes.
keep saying it. Punch the offensive line in their mouth. Punch these teams in their face where you want as a defensive line, as a defense
Mm-hmm.
as itself.
Mm-hmm.
You want to create that pressure. You want the teams to fear them. And now there's going to be a lot of offensive line in the lead is going to look around and say, holy shit, we have to be on our game when we play the Falcons.
Yeah,
They have a
absolutely.
front four that can get after it. And they have some other
Yeah.
guys that can follow through too behind them. So Falcon
Mm-hmm.
fans, it's going to be exciting. Bodie, 224 and
All right.
225.
Hit the all button for me. Let me
But
see
of
what's
course.
left. Let's see what the top players left here. Stroll down a little bit.
But of course.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Are you good? You good? Seeing here. You know what? I know Stetson's in there. Give me Stetson. You're
Don't do
not
that,
gonna
Bodie.
cheat
Don't
me
do
from
this, Bodie.
Stetson. What do you
Don't do
mean?
this, Bodie.
What do you mean? Are you really a Stetson hater right now?
Man, I don't want to see Stetson go practice squad, man. Like they're not going to run three quarterbacks, man. Like we can pick any other quarterback. That's why I picked the kid from Minnesota because I could have went to go get Stetson Bennett. But as a Georgia fan, I just don't want to see this happen, man.
Hey,
I want to see Stetson Bennett
who's to say he
shine,
goes
man.
Stetson? Who says Stetson will go practice squad? Yeah, we ran 2 quarterbacks last year, but who's to say he goes practice squad on our team?
So you going Stetson?
I'm going with Stetson. I'm not changing my mind. This is my draft.
Shit, heavy reach. Jesus Christ.
Hey, it is what it is.
Let's go. Next pick.
Let's see. Next pick
We lit.
would be. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. This is deep. I didn't study 7th round draft picks. Click on that. Let's see. Keep going.
You have Cam Jones from Indiana on the board. I'm surprised he's
Okay.
made it this far.
You know about him?
He's a linebacker that's you're looking at day 2. I've been looking at day 2 and day 3 guys because our first
He's a
10 on the
day
big
2
board is
guy.
he is a guy that's creeping up from day 3.
Okay.
I think guys like Jack Campbell and Pace, and there's some other linebackers that's
Okay. Well,
definitely ahead of him.
go
But if you're
Cam
going day
Jones.
3 guys and he's selected, he's not bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Okay. Yeah. They don't even have his goddamn report on here.
they don't
But
have
go
his
Cam
report,
Jones.
so I'm not
That's
going
the
over
thing.
that.
I'm not. I've done my research on like day one and take day two guys, and some day three guys.
If you want,
But
let's go check out the linebacker list then before we even if you want to select before you select them.
let's. I mean, compared to the rest of the linebackers, your guy, the Cam guy, he's substantially rated higher than the rest. So yeah, it's fine. Go Cam.
Cam Jones. Cam Jones might be the best one. Bo
Yeah,
Cavert's out here,
he's the
but he's
best
not.
one.
Yeah.
Bo Covert is bottom of the barrel.
Stetson
And
Bennett.
Stetson Bennett, man.
Sheesh.
How dare you?
Bodie, here's
Disrespect.
the thing about your draft. And don't forget the Falcons, we haven't done no trades or anything. But Carter is a big talent that's going to be here in Atlanta. And he's on a lot of
Generational.
people's draft boards.
Yes.
He's a day one guy. You're going to see this guy
Look,
out there first game
it's
against
like this.
whoever it is wrecking shit.
It's like this. These are the generational talents in the top 10 for me. Of course, the quarterbacks have a chance to be generational. All of them. If you draft a quarterback in the top 10, you expect him to try to, be that guy. You don't draft just an okay quarterback like the ceiling of a Jimmy Garoppolo in the top 10. You expect this guy to possibly be a star. So all the quarterbacks all the top quarterbacks, the four that are mentioned, you know who the four are: Bryce, CJ Richardson, and Will Levis. All of them are generational. I would stick them over here. I would put Jalen Carter, Will Anderson got a chance to be damn generational defensive pass rusher. Bijan, he's just different. Okay, he's different, and that's why he's being mocked to us. Even though we have 1,000-yard rusher, and everybody's saying, yeah, okay, we don't need a running game. Hell, okay, but yeah, Bijan is being compared to Marshall Falk and that running back in New York. Um, he's Saquon. Yeah, I mean it's different. This guy is just built different. Okay, so he's being declared as probably the best player in this draft. So those are generational talents to me. The rest are just hole fillers. I mean they can fill holes, but they're not generational. Projects. I say projects.
Falcon fans, Bodie's draft is here. As you can see, it's just a mock
Let me
2.0, so
hear it.
don't go sending death threats or anything. It's just a mock. Jalen
Let me
Carter,
hear it. It's probably
number
bad.
8.
I'm not a
Got
GM.
Jahmyr
If I was,
Gibbs.
I wouldn't be here talking to you. Great people. And I love
Guard
you all.
Andrew Voorhees. Wide receiver Raheem Jarrett. Edge Byron Young, who
Byron
can
Young
also
was
play
a
inside.
steal. He was a
That's a
steal
big
to
buy.
me.
That's a big move
That's
right
a
here.
steal to me.
I love what the Falcons are going to do with their first 4 picks because there's going to be some names that I want people to remember. Because if you're seeing a Jahmyr Gibbs out there, if you're seeing a Raheem Jarrett, if you're seeing a Byron Young from either Tennessee or Alabama, Ivan Pace is another guy. Jack Campbell's another guy.
Yeah.
There are some names you're going to say, wow, the Falcons was able to pull this off and bring these guys into Flowery Branch. So be excited, Falcon fans. But Jalen Carter, Jahmyr Gibbs, Andrew Voorhees, Raheem Jarrett, Byron Young, Stetson Bennett, and Cam Jones is Bodie's 2.0 mock. We'll do another one soon as we get ready. Chase said C+.
Okay, Chase.
Falcon fans,
he's just mad because I get Rasheed Rice. I'm sorry. He's too small.
Falcon fans, Rasheed Rice. There's a lot of good talent when it comes to wide receiver. Don't be mad if they don't get Rasheed Rice. There's so much. This draft is going to be one where I want for fans in the chat and who's listening and watching to go do some research on some of these players. You got some really good players in this draft.
Yeah.
Definitely. You're going to get some steals and some rounds. You're going to say, oh, wow, who is this kid? Then you're going to go back and look at the tape and say, holy shit.
Yeah.
Look at Troy Anderson. That's a steal. Y'all was like, Montana State? Yes, Montana State. They got football out there. They got a guy named Troy Anderson. Falcon fans in the chat, Drake True Statement. I love the Andrew Voorhees pick, but who ended up with the Mavarian Overshawn? That's
Mavarian
tough.
Overshawn. That's a crazy name. That is who Scott Karisic was talking about last week. I don't know. You took the draft off. You didn't see who had him, did you? I should have looked for him in the later rounds.
No, this is on the full report right now. I'm looking for Overshawn.
Yeah, I should have looked. I wonder where he's mocked to go because
he went to the Denver. He went to the Broncos at 139.
139. Wow.
And you selected at 110 Raheem Jarrett and Byron Young at 113.
113. All right, the Byron Young pick was there, but yeah, Overshown would have been a good pick there for me. He'd have been a good pick there for sure.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. We are getting ready to head over to Out of Your Falcon Mind podcast. So if you want to go over here and hang out with them on their channel, head on over on the YouTube, type in Out of Your Falcon Mind. We're going to go over there and hang out with John and Mike on their 100th show. I also have some esports tonight too as well. So it's going to be real crazy. But we really appreciate everybody for being here during our live mock 2.0. Bodie's here with us tonight. Chase will be back with us hopefully on Sunday. We got so much to talk about when it comes to Falcons football. Bodie, any shout outs, sir, before we wrap it up?
I was just saying, Dre, yeah, I got it. I used to be really legitly when I was in my early 20s and stuff. I used to be Mel Kiper Black. Like I used to be that guy. I really did. I used to could tell you about these prospects from 1 to damn 7, round 7. I was on that. I did my hardcore research. So I gotta go see what Overshown is looking like, because he put me on last week when he talked about him, and I gotta do my due diligence. So I will go look at Overshown.
Scott Karisik and Lieutenant Dan mentioned Overshown too as well.
They did see that. I'll tell you something. And them two smart brothers. Those are two smart brothers, man. Shout out to both of them. But shout out to exactly. During the shout out to everybody in the chat who hang with us right now. We about to go party though. We about to go next door. It's a live party. Shout out to shout out showing us love. Shout out these Falcons. Shout out to the draft next week. I'm excited about the draft. Let's get it. Love y'all.
Falcon fans, we are lit. The limo just pulled up. We're gonna head over to Out of Your Falcons Mind podcast. They're celebrating their 100th episode. I think we're on episode 95. So be prepared for our 100th episode coming up too as well very soon. But yes, we're heading over to Out of Your Falcon Mind. Type that in on YouTube. Check them out on Twitter. John and Mike, two great guys, two big-time Falcon fans. So we want to go over there and hang out with them. Justin Newman said C+. We will respond to the comments too as well in the chat. Falcon fans will be back on Sunday, 8 p.m. to talk more Falcons football. Rise up, y'all, because we all we got, man. We all we got.
We all we need.
Hit him with that 2-hitter this time. This weekend too, that Garcia Davis fight. This is gonna be was not the Davis versus was Tank Davis? Is that what it is?
Tank Davis, yeah.
And Garcia, it's gonna be crazy, man. We'll talk about it on Sunday. Falcon fans, we'll see y'all heading over to Out of Your Falcon Mind. Rise up.
See y'all.
And rise out.